everybody, and welcome back to ZakIsCinema. Yes, welcome home, everybody. If you find that you're just at a place in your life where you have nobody to talk to about movies and you're just searching, well, you don't need to search anymore, because please come talk to me, please. At this point, I'm begging. Okay, let's talk movies together, so now we can both say that we have somebody. So you're welcome. Today we are going to be reviewing and discussing the movie VHS Beyond, which came out in 2024. So as we jump into the review and discussion for this movie, obviously this whole past month, guys, we made it. Let's round of applause. We have been covering these VHS movies. I made it a community goal to try and cover them in the month of October. I utterly failed because I still have some rankings planned and these are coming out after Halloween. So sorry, very, very sorry here. But if you're new to the channel, new to this review series, we're doing something a little bit different where it's not just one big review, not an overall movie review, but we're actually going to be breaking down, reviewing, and discussing each and every short here. So you're going to get my thoughts here and then an overall section at the end. So stay tuned to that. And we're also going to be doing something different with my rating system where we're going to do it on a point system. So once I break down the movie, we're going to rate it on a scale of 0 to 1. So 0 being if I just don't recommend this short at all, about a half a point if I'm kind of mixed on the experience, and then 1 point if I fully recommend it. And then at the end, you're going to get my rating in a percentage form as we kind of average them out. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the review and discussion for VHS Beyond, starting with the first short called Stork, which was directed by Jordan Downey, a rookie in a covert police unit filming baby abduction cases, joins his team into a creepy house where brooders, a crashed meteor, and alien stork wreak havoc. And the first thing that kind of stood out to me with the short called Stork here is I really do just enjoy kind of being put back in the present day in these VHS movies where we get better camera quality, everything looks like it's in HD, and I appreciate the different eras and taking a look back, but they never really played into the time period all that much besides the setting and camera quality. So I appreciated it. I really like how this one looks, and you kind of get some cool shots and decent cinematography for a found footage movie. And I enjoyed the group dynamic here where we're kind of joining this rogue police co-op kind of unit here, and it gets you right into the cop dynamic, their plans, their motivation, gets you right into the story and right into the action, where this rogue cop unit is in a town dealing with kids and babies being taken, and there's this underground cop group trying to take them out. So immediately it gives you all the motivation and sympathy you need for these characters to go fuck shit up, and that's exactly what they do. They get you right into the middle of this police sting and right into the action. So I enjoyed the pacing here and how it basically starts immediately. And we'll get to it when we talk about the frame narrative, but I thought Beyond here did something unique and interesting in this franchise where the frame narrative doesn't connect the shorts, but the frame narrative is about a documentary following people discussing aliens and stuff. So I like that it seemed like it was going in, okay, this is an alien-themed VHS movie, and all of them have something to do with aliens. So I thought that was a unique twist. Like I mentioned in my 85 review, I wish they would do more of that connective intertwining tissue and intertwining all of these shorts to make one big story, but they chose not to do it for this, but they at least did it with the themes here. So I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed the alien stuff in here where it feels so otherworldly, like these are aliens mixed with humans, creatures, monsters, and zombies all wrapped into one. And to me, I've never seen or played any of the Resident Evil games, but kind of knowing that premise, this is what it kind of felt like, where it feels like we're in a situation like that and almost in some Call of Duty Zombies match and in this first person POV shot of that, but in a house and movie setting. So I really enjoyed that. And like I said, when it gets into the action, basically immediately you get this full gore, carnage, intense action that, like I said, it felt like I was within a zombies match, but really there for this one. Like I mentioned with the cinematography, it was a little unnecessary having, I guess they had a camera attached to this chainsaw at one point, but you get some really cool shots of people wielding around a chainsaw at one point. The zombie alien had a chainsaw as well, but when the humans grab it and start using it, you get beautiful shots of them just dismembering and destroying these zombie aliens right in half. And I thought it was a cool way to kind of show off those practical gore effects that they were going for. And I love as you get more into the story, more reveals going on as they go further and further up the house, you get creepy, unsettling shots of this creepy alien man holding a baby and just smiling. And then we get the reveal of this bigger alien, this bigger stork alien that looks like a big bird looking motherfucker that is sucking the blood out of one of our characters, I think called E.T., and then feeding the blood to the babies that they're capturing in this town and turning the babies into this alien form that resembles them almost. So it takes such a simple Evil Dead kind of approach to its story with hints of lore and stuff like that centered around it, but just in such a fun, cool, gory premise. So to me, in the best way possible, this short really felt like a random side mission in a video game, but one of those sections that really stand out to you and make you remember the game. But in this case, it made me remember the segment and remember the movie for this segment. So I think easily for Stork here, we got to go 1 point. Next, let's discuss the short Dream Girl, directed by Virat Pal. Two paparazzi sneak into a Bollywood star's set to get dirt, only to uncover her terrifying secret. And again, kind of what I was talking about with VHS 85 with that earthquake segment, this one kind of blends that everyday real life occurrences with the horror that a movie like this can bring and the VHS segments bring for us for our enjoyment here. And I like that it kind of focuses on paparazzi and press. That's not something you really see a lot in horror movies, and it really just focuses on the deplorable things humans will do to other humans just to get money, fame, or for their job just because they think they have to. So I like that it focuses on these two paparazzi people sneaking into the set, working with people on the set to kind of get sneaky shots and stuff, and at one point are let in this famous actress's trailer and are filming her taking a break and getting ready, and you could just see something like this playing out in real life. Obviously not what happens, but you could see paparazzi working with people and doing something like this, so it never kind of stretched that side of believability. And again, could imagine there's stories out there just like this. And again, with its beyond and alien theme, I figured something was wrong with this girl, obviously, and that she'd be some sort of alien. So I guess that's almost like kind of the downside of connecting the themes, that at the end of the day, it's gonna be something alien related. But to me, I enjoyed this one enough. When they're in the trailer, you're not really sure what or when it's gonna be revealed, and then that character backs up and sees this like face almost in a preservative liquid almost, and it gets out. They go out to the girl in the trailer, and then we get more revealed to us. So I assumed it was alien related, but I was still interested to see exactly how that would play out. And when we find out this girl is this robot alien demon kind of thing and just starts destroying people on set, I look back and really appreciate the conversation that they had in the trailer with the actress and then the paparazzi people, where the actress is kind of explaining that the manager made her do this and that she's not human and that she was literally made for this. So I enjoy those kind of of subtle themes and messages that they try to throw in here and really put a famous actress that is this alien slave and just goes rogue one day and shows the perspective of being the worst day on set you had to show up for. So I really enjoyed that. All the carnage and stuff that you get at the end is really well done, really gory, really over the top, and a lot of fun too. So I enjoyed that side of things, and I found it very creative that since we're following an actress that was in the middle of a shoot, we kind of get intercut scenes of its found footage style from the paparazzi, but then also very cinematic shots from the cameras in the studio as all this carnage and stuff is going down. So I enjoyed that as well. I think to me, I struggled to kind of talk about this one because it kind of plays out very simple. By this point, I figured it was alien related. So this one's okay to me. I enjoy some things, don't enjoy some other things. So I think for this one, we got to go half a point. Next, let's discuss the short Live and Let Die, directed by Justin Martinez. A group of friends going skydiving get unexpectedly attacked by an alien mid-air, turning their thrill into a fight for survival. And having a found footage skydiving short here, I think is just such a unique, interesting, and really creative idea because you're in such a large environment, but when you're skydiving, it's technically in unescapable, isolated setting as well. So throwing our characters in that, attaching them with this found footage angle really puts you there, really puts up the intensity with our characters once they're out of the plane. I mean, what the hell are you gonna what are you gonna do, you know? So it's impossible for people to escape, which I think is perfect for a segment like this. And I think for me, I'm terrified of heights. I would never ever go skydiving. I don't see the enjoyment in jumping to my death and then being like, oh wait, never mind. Like I don't like to put myself in situations like this, and it scared me even more that I think the main character's name is Zach. So I like that it kind of put me in there and I felt like I was about to go skydiving too. Having this one specifically in the VHS segment could work in any of these, but specifically this alien one, I just could not imagine having aliens, of all things, fucking aliens, show up when I'm trying to skydive and already scared and nervous. It just kind of puts you in one of those positions where skydiving isn't an everyday thing for people, but it is stuff people do. So the next time someone who enjoys skydiving goes there, I imagine they're going to be thinking if aliens kind of show up. So I really enjoyed that part. And again, like I said, even if it wasn't aliens showing up, a horror edge to skydiving, again, putting in that Final Destination kind of vibe to it, I think really works. And I like that the short kind of keeps going once the characters land and half of them are dead, half of them are alive, but the aliens are still chasing them like these A Quiet Place monsters on Earth. And I think this one is where it starts to struggle, where it's just a lot of running and screaming and these god-awful CGI aliens showing up on screen. So that was a little disappointing because everything else around it was working so well for me. So I think unfortunately for that, because half the short works and then once they're on Earth, it kind of loses me a little bit. I think we got to go half a point for this one. Next, let's discuss the short Fur Babies, directed by Christian and Justin Long. Activists infiltrate a shady dog daycare, only to discover the dog daycare is transforming humans into canine horrors. Now, to me, when this one started, I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought it was like the random ads, like the Veggie Smasher that they kind of randomly throw in these VHS segments. But then I was like, oh no, this is like the next segment here. So it felt a little off and weird to me because I'm like, how are they going to introduce aliens to this one? And we'll get into it because it unfortunately doesn't. But at least at first, I was like, okay, this is wacky. This is fun. It almost reminds me of the Aussie short a little bit, where I think when VHS can blend that humorous and dark side, it works really well. It blends really well. I love dark comedy and horror as well, and I think Justin Long could be the right person to kind of balance those things. So I was excited to check this one out, and I think it has such a wild idea of taking this really funny, creepy, over-the-top doggy daycare daycare running lady and having these characters, these activists going to investigate because they think something's up with this simple and sweet looking doggy daycare, and then it kind of unravels from there. And when it started going, I was like, okay, I like this twist where we're finding out this lady loves dogs so much that she's so obsessed with them, kind of hates humans and captures bad people and turns them into her own pet dogs. And it's kind of hinted at with the taxidermy kind of stuff. So I enjoyed where it was going. Just when it kind of kept going, I think this pushed it to being just kind of over the top, cheap looking in some ways, goofy at points. And I think with this one, I find the ideas of a creepy lady stealing people and turning you into a dog, I find that idea creepy, but the execution here just didn't work for me. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel any intensity or on edge whatsoever. It kind of just came off as a lighthearted, family-friendly vibe of a Human Centipede movie, if that makes sense. And again, this one just feels significantly out of place, where they must have promised Justin Long and his wife that they could do a VHS segment, and then they're like, oh fuck, did we tell them it was going to be aliens? And then they look at what Justin Long created and they're like, fuck, dude, we told him it'd be in the movie, and this is what we get. So I didn't really like this one. Not really working for me, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, Justin Long. I still love you, but you're getting 0 points. Next, let's discuss Stowaway, directed by Kate Siegel. A UFO enthusiast documents desert sightings, boards an alien spaceship, and becomes a subject to a horrifying regeneration protocol that reshapes her body. And this one was a nice return to form, obviously with its themes and frame narrative of the beyond and alien investigation side of things. So I like seeing that. I liked when we get to the frame narrative, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but those themes and messages of people just becoming so obsessed with capturing aliens, and we get to see a VHS short play out with somebody so curious and obsessed with finding proof of aliens that they're forgetting and leaving their family. So I like that it really tied in there. And unfortunately, as this one kind of kept going, it takes a while for this lady to show up on this egg kind of looking spaceship, and the beginning of her documenting and talking about things just felt like random footage that was ripped out and taken from the frame narrative, or random B-roll footage where I was like, okay, where is this going? Because I'm not getting much from this. And I do think the ideas, again, similar to Fur Babies, are interesting, where it's the execution where it kind of falls apart. But the interesting idea is, when you see the lady and she sees this egg kind of fall and goes and finds it and goes to investigate it, but then it immediately kind of takes me out of it and has no intensity with how dumb she is. She is like a character out of Prometheus, one of those scientist characters, where she crawls in this alien egg spaceship thing and just instantly starts touching shit. So it just kind of removed any interest or curiosity from me when you have a character just being so stupid and reckless. So again, I find the idea kind of creepier of someone discovering this and I guess just being so obsessed that they have to go into it and investigate it. And there's some interesting ideas where she kind of like cuts her finger, and then this alien technology, this nanotechnology kind of comes down and heals her. But then as the short keeps going, she is blasted off into space, and due to the gravity, the G-force, I wasn't really sure, I'm not a scientist, but she keeps kind of getting ripped apart, but then the nanotechnology keeps putting her back together, but kind of disforming her as they go further and further out to space. So again, like, that idea is interesting. I just think the execution never did anything that horrifying or creepy or made me have a character that I really cared about. And again, with this one, unfortunately, I'm so conflicted with this frame narrative and the themes it's going for, because I just assume everything's going to be aliens, and when it plays out to just be aliens, I'm like, okay, it's just more people discovering aliens and then aliens killing people. So I don't know, this one's kind of forgettable. I don't know, I must have zoned out through part of this one because we are going 0 points. But lastly, let's discuss the frame narrative called Abduction. directed by Jay Cheel. An amateur collector buys cryptic VHS tapes, trying to prove that alien encounters are tied to the Farrington house. And I've definitely said this before, but ZakIsCinema is going to say it again. I love when found footage can blend that fake documentary style with the found footage, because found footage already makes me feel like this is so real and really puts me there, but the documentary side, especially when the acting and everything around it is so well done, that it makes me feel like this is actually real. So having this alien documentary kind of short, I felt like I was actually watching people talking about aliens. So I really enjoyed that one. Again, kind of mixed with how this is about aliens. Then when you watch the first short, you're like, okay, all these, except you, Justin Long, I don't know what the fuck you were doing, but all these are connected to aliens. So it almost like this frame narrative focused on connecting the themes, but then inadvertently just spoils every single short moving forward. So I still don't know how to think about it. I think there's a better way to kind of connect them and intertwine them that I see as such a missed opportunity that's sitting right there. So that just kind of adds to my frustration here a little bit. Like I was hoping it would maybe even tie into this documentary somehow. That would have been a cool way to kind of at least introduce that twist to it. But besides my frustrations there, I do enjoy how they're kind of building up these tapes, getting different people's opinions on aliens, going over history and going over this Farmington house of supposedly these two tapes that were bought and sold from Reddit, that these tapes have definitive proof of alien existence. And it's all leading up to this documentary crew and the people they're interviewing getting a chance to see these tapes and then discuss it to us. So unfortunately, that does put like a lot of pressure on those tapes and that last segment of the frame narrative where you're like, okay, you gotta pay this off here because it's all kind of leading to this. It's not connecting anything else. It's going to be alien related, but you really got to pay this off. And unfortunately, it just leaves off with a dud to me, where the ending literally just shows another alien segment, an alien showing up to this dude in his bed in the original Farmington house, and he just starts probing him down his throat. So nothing really disturbing, nothing really unique for aliens. And you know, it's disturbing, I guess, but it's essentially just showing us what we just watched for the past 2 hours, where aliens show up and aliens hurt humans and aliens exist. So it's nothing new here. So it's not much of a reveal and not much of a climax because we already were watching this. You're just giving us another version of it. So this one was frustrating. I like the documentary style. I'm mixed on how it ties into the themes, but appreciate how it did something different. Everything leading up to it really worked, but the ending was such a dud to me that I'll be more forgiving on this one. I think I'll go a half a point for the frame narrative. But all that to say, overall, I think this is such a disappointing but kind of mixed bag for me, where alien and horror really blend really well, and I thought it was unique and different for the VHS franchise to kind of blend its frame narrative and tie in themes and a topic for all its segments. So I thought that was unique, but it essentially spoils things where it does just feel very repetitive. And besides the first short, none of these really stand out to me, even though I had a decent time with it and didn't hate myself watching it. So unfortunately, kind of mixed, more of that mixed negative, because for my rating for this, out of the 6 total shorts, including that frame narrative, we are going to give VHS Beyond a 2.5 out of 6, or a 42%. So you guys, we have made it to the end here. Like I said, please look forward to some of my fun rankings that I got planned here, but I'm so very curious. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on VHS Beyond. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What are some of your favorite shorts from this movie? What are some of your least favorite? Please let me know how you feel about VHS Beyond down below here. But that's about it. I really appreciate you guys joining me on this VHS journey. It's not done yet, so look out for those videos. But of course, I appreciate anybody watching my videos. It means so much to me, so thank you so much. And yeah, look forward to more ZakIsCinema coming very soon.